What you went to Colorado, right? During the Venezuelan gang shit.
For Tren de Aragua.
Yes.
TDA.
I just saw
taking over the apartments, taxing everybody.
I mean, again, there was a crazy video that went viral. Now,
I know.
It was like red meat.
Yeah, they're like,
during the election.
Guys, I have some really bad news. There's a gang at an apartment building in the hood. Everyone's like, what the fuck is happening? There's a gang in every apartment building.
Right. So what did you like going there? What did you?
Okay, here's the verdict on Colorado. There was a gang in the apartment building.
Period.
Which caused the landlord to be like, you know what, bro? There's a gang here. He was a slumlord named Zeb from Florida. He owned like 6 different super badly maintained properties.
Right.
So he was like, you know what, bro? There's gangs overrunning this shit. I don't even want to take care of it. I'm abandoning the property. So there was no more landlord services happening, no more plumbing, no more electricity. Just the services were being under-maintained. He was getting sued by the city of Aurora, Colorado. So he hired a crisis PR firm called Red Banyan Communications to basically plant that story about the gang takeover to be like, they beat me up and forced me out of the property. So 2 things were true at one time. You had
There was a gang
of illegally, of undocumented migrants
right.
from Venezuela who were gangbanging, and you had a shitty landlord. I don't understand how people can't see those 2 things seem to go hand in hand.
Right.
I actually think that's almost always the case. Everywhere you see gangs in the projects, the property is poorly maintained.
Sure.
You ever seen a nice apartment building with a gang in it? It's
right.
impossible.
No, that's funny. Yeah, like you said, 2 things can be true at the same time.
And also, gangs see a shitty maintained spot, and they're like, "I'm gonna go gang."
Did you see the story that came out a couple nights ago? They were like, "Yo, in Colorado, there was a Venezuelan gang house party, and we raided it. Got 40 gang members off the street." I'm like, first of all, shout out to those guys for being like brave enough to throw a house party.
Yeah.
In the same week Trump gets elected,
for sure.
Obviously, not the smartest.
Yeah. Also, dude, what about the 100,000 gang members here in Los Angeles?
Right.
What are we talking about?
Right.
It's so crazy, but conservatives have never met a gang member. So they're like, oh my God, the gang members have arrived. It's like the gang members
They're here.
Started here.
Yes.
All the MS-13 started in Koreatown.
People don't realize that MS-13 is a California gang that obviously exported to El Salvador.
Yeah, and our prison system is an incubator for the most powerful gangs in the world. Mm-hmm. So it's really crazy when you get people being like, bro, the border's open and now people are gangbanging. But if you show that clip on Fox News and you're in Little Rock, Arkansas, actually Little Rock's pretty hood. Let me use a different example. If you're in Omaha, that's actually pretty hood too.
Boise, Idaho.
Okay, if you're in Boise, Idaho, in the rural outskirts, and you see a video of the border and then people gangbanging right after, you're like, here we go.
Yep. Crazy. Have you ever covered Mormons at all in your...
No, I haven't. But when I first got to Salt Lake City, I went to Temple Square, and they were in plain clothes, and they're like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I thought they were fans. I go, "Oh yeah, good to meet you, bro."
No.
I was like, "You want a picture?" And they were like, "A picture? Have you read the Word?"
Choose
and I
the
was
right.
like, "Ah, man."
So I grew up in Mesa, which is outside of Phoenix, like 20 minutes, and it's a big Mormon population.
Didn't know that.
So I'm very, very intrigued. And then I moved to Boise. I did radio in Boise for a year, which is the 3rd largest Mormon population. It's just such a very, very interesting culture of people.
They're really nice.
They're the nicest people ever.
Yeah.
Their religion is pretty wild.
Yeah.
It is pretty crazy. Like I would love to see you. If some random Mormon shit pops up, I would love to see you cover.
I mean, I love Salt Lake City. Like, there's this bar they're called Twilight Lounge that I like a lot. You know what I mean? So, and most of the kids who get drunk there every day are from Mormon families, and they just drink and they just like sit there and be like,
"Oh yeah." Like when I was a kid, like the kids in high school who were like doing like real drugs were all Mormons because they were like revolting.
Yeah, that's why people don't know, but Salt Lake City is like a mini New Orleans when it comes to alcohol consumption, because these kids who defect or they kind of break off from the church, they drink like Amish people on Rumspringa.
Oh man,
they don't play.
I went to Salt Lake once. We went for the day. We went to interview Young Boy at his house.
Oh, such a good video, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to him, man.
That's one of my favorite interviews.
Shout out to Young Boy. Free that man. Free him.
I know. All he had to do was not do that.
All he had to do was just not like fake prescriptions.
So you have everything.
Like what? Like when that Young Boy story came out, I was like, really, bro?
Wait, is it correct that he went to the Walgreens and said, "I'm a doctor"?
He called. I think it was over the phone. I think he called in over the phone as a fake again, this is all...
Can you imagine Youngboy trying to sound like not Youngboy?
No.
Especially to somebody...
Especially hanging out with him, like, super nice guy, but yeah.